Hey guys, Ryan here. Just a quick note before we start the show. Thanks for so much all the support that we got over the first two episodes. We actually raised enough money to invest in some experimental AI. So Alex is taking a step away from the microphone this week, and we've downloaded all of his memories, his brain, his DNA into a high-functioning cyborg. We're just going to try it out this week. Give us some feedback. Let us know how it goes. So, again, that's just a quick note before the show starts, and I'm going to power him up right now.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan?
Not much, Alex. How you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good.
How do you feel?
I feel normal, I guess. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Pretty excited. I get to read the story this week, so I'm very excited about that.
That's right.
I have it all written down, so I think we're going to have a good time. And it's not going to be a summary this week. I'm just going to read it flat out.
Straight through.
It's good. It's good.
I'm in so much mystery. You've been talking this week about how it's very important to you, and I don't know. I'm nervous I might not be familiar with the fandom.
If you don't, it's not a big deal, but I think you're going to like it. As far as like an opening goes, I just have something really short just so we can save on time.
Sure. We'll see about that. We'll see about how short it is.
We'll see.
I might have some thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. But it's basically like fan fiction of real people. You ever read any of that?
Yeah, like One Direction and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. So the question is like, is it weird? Is it creepy? Who owns that? You know, or especially someone who's dead. So there's like a comic book, and it's called Abraham Lincoln Time Cop.
Oh, we have Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Exactly. So like, who owns the rights to Abraham Lincoln? His descendants?
The U.S. Mint?
Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, is it a weird thing? Is it a normal thing? Why are you writing situations about other real people, you know?
I mean, at this point, I think it's just devolving into fantasy. Like, oh, I was walking down the street and Leonardo DiCaprio's hat blew across my path, and I picked it up and I gave it to him, and we began this massive friendship.
Yeah. Cody Ko, the Viner YouTuber, people write fan fiction about him, but it's all just him having sex with them. And he has a good video on his channel, which is reading fanfic about me with my girlfriend, and she's uncomfortable the entire time. Like, she's so upset.
Well, if you ever want like a good YouTube rabbit hole to go down, pretty much anything Benedict Cumberbatch is in, where he has a male co-star, is just so much fan fiction written about those two. And he'll go on like Graham Norton or something and just read it, or it'll be read to him. It's really good.
In contrast to that, have you ever seen Supernatural?
I have not seen Supernatural.
Okay, do you know anything about it?
There's some supernatural stuff going on.
Okay, it's these two brothers. They're hunters. They hunt supernatural things.
Their names aren't Hunter. They are actual hunters.
They are hunters. They're called hunters, so they hunt vampires, werewolves.
It's not like, hey, hunters, get over here.
No. Well, I mean, they're called hunters. Like, that's their occupation name.
Gotcha.
They're actually just frauds because they steal a lot of money, and that's how they survive. Anyways, season 3, I believe there's a character. No, season 4. There's a character introduced named Castiel, and he saves the older brother, whose name is Dean. And so
Dean Hunter.
Dean Winchester.
Close enough.
Yeah, same thing. And so there's just mountains of Destiel fan fiction. And the guy who plays Castiel, his name is Misha Collins, loves it. And he's like, when they go to cons, he's like, give me more. Like, I love it. The guy who plays Dean, Jensen Ackles, isn't the biggest fan. And he's said before, like, please stop writing this stuff about me. And to take it further, because they're such good friends in real life now, all the fans are like, oh, they're banging. They're definitely banging. So now people are writing Jensen Ackles and Misha Collins fan fiction, and it just gets Jensen Ackles so uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, I feel like this all started that, like, Louis Tomlinson, Harry Styles thing that they're together. I mean, that's all just machinations of the fans, right?
Yeah, it's just stuff they want.
How would you feel if someone wrote fan fiction about you? You don't even have to be famous. What if someone? What if it just became a huge thing?
It's like those people at my school.
Yeah,
I always thought it was weird. I'm not gonna lie. Because
how did they feel about it?
The people who wrote it, or the people it was written about?
Well, let's do both. How did the subjects, how did they feel about it?
It was such a Loctite secret. when I spoke about it on the last podcast, I had people from my high school be like, "Hey, you're not supposed to mention them by name." I'm like, "I didn't. All right, so calm down."
Right.
So that's a Loctite.
How do you think they would have felt when they find out?
So
because
uncomfortable. They would have gotten so angry. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because they.
But why? Because of the nature of it. Because you said it was like pairing them together, even though
they weren't the biggest fans of each other to begin with. So that's a big thing. And
just spilling the tea right now.
Oh yeah.
As I sip my
drinking tea.
Yeah,
So
let's spill it.
I got the tea. Kermit the Frog loaded up.
Okay, but like how would you feel about it if someone started writing fan fiction about you?
I honestly just think it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like someone's writing about me. It's different if it's a character or like a character I created. So like if I published a book and then someone's like, "Oh, I love the book. I want to write about that character." I'm like, "Sure, do it." But if someone's like, "Alex went to the grocery store. He met Ryan there. Then they made out." I'd be like, "All right, what's the big
just a
deal?
normal
Why?"
Tuesday? Yeah, what's
just
a big whoop day? Yeah,
It's not a big deal, guys. I'm not. There's not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not there's anything
there's
wrong.
nothing wrong with
nothing
that.
wrong with it.
But I don't know. I personally think that if someone wrote fan fiction about me, I'd be. I don't want to say uncomfortable.
It feels a little invasive.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you're trying to control me, and I'm not. I don't like that.
But
So.
I mean, imagine you're such a large celebrity. You know, when this podcast blows up, you'll become such a large celebrity that it's just you become a public figure. So what's the difference between someone bashing you in a Facebook comment and writing some sexual fan fiction about you?
Well, depending on the celebrity, some people think that a lot of the big celebrities are just acts. Like a lot of people think Kanye West isn't really like that.
But, I mean, that's possible.
Yeah. So at that point, you're writing fan fiction about his persona, and you're not writing fan fiction about him.
That character that he created.
The character that he plays. It's like Stephen Colbert when he was on the Colbert Report.
Yeah.
That's all was a character.
Right.
And so, not that anyone wrote Stephen Colbert fan fiction. Well, they might have. I don't know.
I like to think. I'm gonna go look now.
It's big. Who knows?
Get ready for next week. Stephen Colbert.
Yes, let's do it.
Jon Stewart
Let's
crossover.
do it. Yeah, and John Oliver's filming. But yeah, so I mean, if it's like a celebrity thing, and I'm not actually the person I'm portraying publicly, it's a little different. It's a little different to me. But if someone like knew me personally and was writing stuff, they might. I don't know. These people who write them at my high school, I could be in a fanfic right now, and I'd never know.
Exactly. There could be another circle of secrets.
Exactly. I could have just walked in on the two original people just doing it. And I could have been like, "Oh, where do I put these towels?" And then just walk out. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
A little side character. A cameo.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to think. Or it was in theaters, so I directed a lot. Maybe I was directing them what to do. Like, no, flip it over and then do it. I'm what? Who knows? But yeah, so that was just kind of my, fanfic of real people. What is it? And the reason I'm asking about that is because of this week's fan
Oh,
fiction.
nice segue.
Oh, yeah.
Sick segue, bro.
Yes. So I didn't tell Ryan even the title because I knew it would give it away.
I don't even know the title of this episode.
This is it. You ready?
Yeah.
National Treasure 3.
Oh, yes!
Oh,
yes!
Yeah. Yes.
Is this confirmed? Is this like, was this Warner Brothers? And who makes National Treasure?
Disney.
Disney?
The guy who made Pirates of the Caribbean, Bruckheimer? Pirates of the Caribbean?
Jerry
Bruckheimer?
Sure.
Pretty sure it's his series of movies.
My question is, I loved the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Why do you make like 6 of those? Why do you make...
And only 2 National Treasure?
Exactly.
Dude,
National Treasure
get it.
is a slam dunk red box family
National Treasure
movie.
is so good. And that's when I said it's really personal. So I saw National Treasure when it came out. Saw it in the theaters. Saw National Treasure 2 in the theaters.
Of course.
I have a degree in history and anthropology, and I don't think I would if I didn't love National Treasure.
No, you're kidding.
I swear to God, like when I first saw the movie and I saw them like piecing the puzzle together, and like the knowledge of Benjamin Gates, I was just wowed. I was like, I need to be this person. I absolutely have to be this guy.
So you're the equivalent of like all those people who went to medical school because they liked Grey's Anatomy.
That's
and Scrubs.
100% that. Or what I think is funny, all the people that watch Indiana Jones and they're like, I'm going to be an archaeologist. And for the people that don't know, anthropology is divided into 4 subdivisions, one of which is archaeology. To get a degree, you have to take some archaeology classes. Real archaeology is nothing like Indiana Jones.
What are you talking about? You learn how to fight Nazis.
No, well, okay, I did take a whip class, a bullwhip class. That was the first day.
That's a prerequisite.
Yeah, that's a prereq.
You can actually test out of that.
Yeah,
They'll let you test
I
out of that
one. in when to shoot people and not fight them. That was an appropriate one as well from the first movie.
Yes, of course.
Of course. No, and
I love there's a great callback in, I think it's Last Crusade, when he whips out his gun and it's out of bullets that time, so he actually has to deal with it.
Oh yeah, and apparently that was all improv. That wasn't actually supposed to happen in the script.
Oh wow.
In the first one.
Oh okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, you sit down for class and the archaeology classes, and you have that one guy wearing the hat.
No, you
I
don't.
swear to
No,
God.
you don't. A fedora.
I swear to God.
The dusty.
Yeah, and it's a North American archaeology class. Okay, it's not Mayans. It's not Egyptian.
It's not those aliens from the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
It's North American. Okay, which is awesome. I love North American archaeology. If I was an archaeologist, that's where I'd be.
Stop being so PC.
Yeah, well, no, I know. I legitimately do love North American archaeology,
Okay.
but as the professionals put it, it's not as sexy as the Mayans. And one of the first things they say is, like, this is archaeology. Indiana Jones is not an archaeologist. He was an antiquarian. And so the biggest distinction is that an archaeologist would find a shell and be like, cool, how was this used? Whatever. An antiquarian is basically a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they steal things and put them in museums.
And then they get, like, Temple Run, that app. Do you ever play that?
Exactly.
Oh,
God.
They get chased by baboons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and native people who are just savages.
Yeah. Just way over the top stereotypes.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, so if Indiana Jones is an antiquarian.
Antiquarian, yeah, like an antiquarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Benjamin Gates? We should probably now, like, summarize what is National Treasure.
So he's a treasure hunter. I would say he's a treasure hunter aided by history. So I think he's a historian or he loves history in the movie. It has been probably about a year or two since I've watched it. But National Treasure, for those of you who don't know, is basically this 1.5, 2 hour long journey aided by American history, where the main character, Benjamin Franklin Gates, isn't that his name?
Just so heavy-handed, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his other friend, Thomas Jefferson
No, I wish.
Williams.
Yeah. So he goes on this just long, wild goose chase to prove his family's theories about a treasure true. And
This is the first one.
this is the first one. And the second one is proving another person's crazy family idea is true.
Yeah, that's Ed Harris is in
Yes.
that, right?
Yes, he is.
Good.
The second one's not as good as the first.
You don't think so?
I think the second one's great.
The second one has that scene where there's a scene when they're in Buckingham Palace.
Yep.
And Nick Cage, this is a Nick Cage movie,
Yes,
we should say
it's
now.
a Nick Cage
Nicolas
movie.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
He just goes bananas.
Yes.
And in like a weird, he's trying to distract or something.
Yeah.
That's
And,
Nick Cage at his best.
Yeah, and funny enough, Phil from Modern Family's in National Treasure.
Is he a bad guy?
In the second movie, you know how they're divorced?
Yeah. Oh, he's the new
The boyfriend who works at the White House, yeah. For the Resolute desk. So the only reason I fell in love with it is just because it was one of those things where it's like, this is so cool. We're taking actual things that happened and they're just like weaving this narrative around it.
Okay.
Like it just blew my mind as a kid, and I wanted that knowledge because even his dad was just super smart.
Jon Voight.
Angelina Jolie's dad in real life.
They don't get along.
No, not at all. But Jon Voight plays his dad, and he's great. I don't remember the guy's name who plays Riley, which is like the sidekick, basically.
Yeah, the guy who
He's
played
good.
Doug in Hangover.
Doug in The Hangover, yeah. And then Abigail.
Abigail.
So she's great too, and they're all like, I don't know, it just like amazed me as a kid at how smart these four people were solving this puzzle.
Yeah.
And then Ian, what was he, Australian, British? He was the guy that funded the original expedition and thought he could abandon them and make more money that way.
Oh, okay, yes.
You remember him?
Yeah. This is
yeah.
also another fun fact about National Treasure is that set in a universe where nobody can aim a gun.
That is also true.
You can run through the streets of Philadelphia with someone just lining up a shot.
That's Star Wars physics.
Oh, okay. I noticed it first in National Treasure because I used to watch. I loved it as a kid.
I'm so glad you love National Treasure. Like I said, I'm not BSing you. I love it. When we were walking around New York, and remember at the very end when they're at the church and he's like doing all the thing with the streets. Mm-hmm. I literally had that exact moment in my head where I'm like, wait a minute, Wall Street. Oh my God, Broadway. And like, I was like pulling a Nick Cage. I'm like, we're at the church. And it was getting remodeled, so I couldn't run in. But I took a picture in front of it, and it was like a big moment for me because I'm like, this is where it was in that movie.
Right.
And like, it's so stupid, but I love National Treasure. National Treasure 3 isn't totally ruled out. The real one, not.
I'm still holding out for it.
It's not totally ruled out. They would be looking for Roanoke. That was the rumor.
Okay.
The Roanoke colony. Yeah.
I kind of wish I didn't know that. I want to go in blind. I'll get real drunk tonight. I'll forget.
Yeah, it's fine. I also want to know what's on page 47. That's a good question.
Oh, of the president's...
From the Book of Secrets.
Book of Secrets.
And so, for those of you who don't know...
Well, I know more about National Treasure than I thought.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, one of the big things is like... It's kind of a meme where it's like Nick Cage, we have to steal the Declaration of Independence, and that's the first one. And the second one is, we have to kidnap the President of the United States. And it's just... Okay, sure you do. You know what I mean? And there's a treasure map on the back of the Declaration. But it's great. I love it. I love it all. Like growing up, looking up to that movie and then getting a degree in history, it's the same thing as growing up and loving Indiana Jones, which I did. One of the reasons why I got the degree in anthropology. And being crushed that there's no bullwhips. And you're that kid with the hat on and the vest and the satchel. There's a kid with all those things, I swear to God.
So when the teacher comes in, just lays down that it's not true, and they just like slowly removing
100%,
all of that, just
100%.
Like kind of shouldering off the dusty jacket.
And the teacher could always tell who's new because they have that look of hope dye in their eyes. And
as they stand up to go change their major.
Exactly.
I got to go see my advisor now.
What's antiquarian major? Where can I sign up for that?
I got to turn in this loaded revolver that I bought just for this.
So yeah, I mean it's a little disappointing. History's a lot more than treasure hunting and just knowing facts, at least academically. So before we get started, I picked this one just because it's kind of crazy. It's an interesting story.
This could become a thing. I mean, like you said, the jury's out on National Treasure 3.
I don't think this will be the third one at all. So
that makes me somehow even more excited to hear it.
Yes. But one thing, besides a lot of female, male pairings in these fanfics, a lot of people want the three of them to hook up. A lot.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The triumvirate, you know?
Yeah. By the way, I used Archive of Our Own. Great website. I mean, recommend anyone who likes fan fiction to browse on there. But Riley Poole, who is like the sidekick, he's a little bit younger than the two main characters, and he wrote a book. That was his big thing after
about the
first
event.
one,
Yes.
about the event. Yeah, and I guess there's a lot of fanfic where Riley's autistic. And so, yeah, I don't know. He's not autistic in the movies. And if he is, they never mention that.
Like he's on the spectrum
Yes.
a little? Or is it's like a...
No, like full on. Yeah. And a lot of the fan fiction is just Ben, like, consoling him. I guess that's a fanfic trope. That's one of the categories people like is, like, caring.
Comfort.
So there's a lot of, like, Ben Riley comfort fanfic because Riley's autistic. Yeah.
Is that in this?
No. I Riley's not autistic. I don't know why people are writing him that way. Maybe the people who wrote it are autistic and they want to see someone they can see themselves.
Yeah, Riley's a fairly blank canvas.
Yeah,
We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
You give him a little bit of latitude with
Absolutely, yeah. So, and he doesn't have a lot of character development. So,
just like Doug. This guy kind of sits out movies.
Yeah, but Doug is not in that.
Who is it? He just collects paychecks.
Basically, yeah.
If you're listening, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Thank you, Doug, for sponsoring this podcast.
Did you see the new Power Rangers movie?
I actually did not. I avoided it.
Okay, so you know how in the original, Billy is the one with the glasses? Mm-hmm. And then Zach, the black guy, is the Black Ranger?
Yes.
In this one, they said, excuse me. So they made Billy the black guy, and at one point, he just flat out, he's like, I'm autistic. And it was just, I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
So there's more representation there in the Power Rangers movie, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying let's just jump right in.
Yeah, I think we've done enough lead up. We got
Chapter 1.
Henry's ready to go.
Chapter 1. Liam Neeson knocked on the door of Nicolas Cage's ice cream shop. Ryan just cracked the largest smile I've ever seen. Cage, I need a favor. My daughter has been taken again. Again? Nick asked. Like, seriously? Again? Yes, I'd rather not talk about it, Liam said, rubbing the back of his neck and looking away. No, but really, how? Well, I went to the grocery store and I turned my back to look at the kumquats, and when I turned back, they had taken her. These men in green coats, Neeson said, his tone grim. Green coats? Nick asked. Yes, I think it was the Illuminati, mostly because of the triangles on their coats. Seriously? Cage asked incredulously. They also shouted, "You'll never stop the Illuminati's Pyramid Eye, Liam Sacagawea Neeson, ha 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 ha," Liam said, posing like he was holding a girl by the arm. Your middle name's Sacagawea? No, but the point is, I need your help, Cage. I need you to help me find the Illuminati's secret base, Liam said, placing his hands on Nick's shoulders. After a pause, Nick said, All right, but you need to help me first. What do you need? Liam asked, apprehensively. Well, this ice cream shop I opened up after everyone forgot about that time I stole the Declaration of Independence hasn't been doing the best, and that's probably because I don't actually know how to make ice cream. So I need your help to steal a recipe for vanilla ice cream, Nick said, talking with his hands. You want me to hold off the search for my only daughter and help you steal a recipe for vanilla ice cream? Not just any vanilla ice cream. In 1760 something or other, Thomas Jefferson went on to a trip to France. He brought back vanilla ice cream, and you want to steal Thomas Jefferson's recipe for vanilla ice cream, Liam said, so utterly done with it, 'cause all the oven timers in the city go off from how done he was. Yes, tonight if we can. My rent's due tomorrow. Liam breathed really slowly out through his nose. Okay, let's go. End of chapter 1.
I'm hooked. There's too much information not to be.
That's the exact reason why I chose this. So What I thought was interesting is he chose to write about Nick Cage and not Benjamin.
Yeah,
Franklin.
Thanks.
Gates.
So this is happening in the National Treasure universe, or is this in the universe where Nick Cage has been in National Treasure and he's like confusing reality with the movie?
That one's probably more likely, to be honest with you.
Like that time that I was on an airplane with all convicts.
Exactly. Or the time that I raised the whole state of Arizona. I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was a little sloppy that he mixed him up, but...
So is this person not a fan of National Treasure?
It seems like they are a fan.
But they didn't even look up Nick Cage's character's name? Or are they just
Probably.
trying to appeal to the general audience?
It could be that, too.
Who doesn't remember?
Because Liam Neeson, I mean, he's been in Taken. He was in...
Does this take place after Taken 1 or Taken 2? Or Taken
I believe
3?
Taken 1. I think it's after National Treasure 1 and Taken 1.
Okay.
I'd like to think they're in the same universe.
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They kind of follow the same logic.
Yeah. And I really like the idea of the two of them being in a movie together. Like, that would be amazing. All right, chapter 2. Liam
Also,
Neeson,
wait.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so the Illuminati,
Yeah.
that's just like, they're just like a bargaining chip for Liam Neeson to join Nick Cage on this adventure?
The Illuminati stole his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they're
I
not going to
mean-
go look. They got to look for the French vanilla ice cream recipe.
First, yeah. That was Nick Cage's terms.
Okay.
And for those of you who don't know, in National Treasure 1, the Illuminati is a big deal. The Freemasons, all of that. Secret societies, Dan Brown, Da Vinci Code. And I think the Da Vinci Code, which came out around the same time as National Treasure and National Treasure.
The film, not the book.
The film. I think the two of those really led to a lot of misconceptions about the Illuminati and
Because those movies make you think the Illuminati is very secretive, when in fact they just wear bright green jackets.
Yeah, and have triangles.
Yeah,
and they say,
members on the
ha,
jackets.
ha, ha, we're taking your daughter.
We are the Illuminati.
We are the Illuminati, yeah. So
hiding in plain
sight. Okay, chapter 2. Liam Neeson gripped the steering wheel of Nicolas Cage's car tightly as he drove to the White House to steal Thomas Jefferson's recipe for vanilla ice cream so Nick would help him save his daughter from being taken by the Illuminati.
What a sentence that was.
Yes. Having recapped the story, he turned onto the abandoned side road that was unguarded and led right to the secret tunnel which led into the Library of Congress. Arriving at the destination, Liam stopped the car and he and Nick got out. This is the place, he said, and pointed out the hole in the mountain sign to Nick. We just need to get into there and avoid noise. Sure thing, Nick said, walking up to the hole and crawling in. He turned back to look at Liam. You coming? I just need to get one thing first, he said. Getting his bag out of the car, he pulled a knife and a gun out, holding them in a position ready for action. Liam, we're here to steal the president's recipe for ice cream. We aren't going to need to stab and or shoot anyone, Nick said. And if you bring those in, it's going to make it very hard to explain that I need a recipe for ice cream. But I like my guns. The only guns we need are these, Nicolas Cage said, flexing his arms. Let's just get the dang ice cream recipe, Cage said, turning into the small passage. Neeson followed him. After a few minutes of walking up a slope, Cage saw light ahead. Dropping onto his stomach and crawling forward, looking down, he saw the library through a grate in the bottom of the vent. We can get down through here, Cage said, yanking the grate up. He slid his body through the hole and dropped onto the floor of the Library of Congress. Liam Neeson dropped down next to him, holding a butter knife. Why the butter knife, Liam? Cage asked. You didn't let me have my regular one.
This is great banter.
Yeah. Cage turned and began looking for the ice cream recipe. After a few minutes of searching, with Liam watching his back, Nick found the ice cream recipe section. He began paging through the note cards, searching for the ancient post-it note that was sure to carry the secret of Jefferson's ice cream. Find it quick, Cage, Neeson said, looking over his shoulder. We might need to run. Yeah, Nick said, fumbling with the note cards. Here it is. Cage pulled Jefferson's recipe for ice cream, or a replica of it, out and stuffed it in his jacket pocket. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Red lights were flashing everywhere as really, really slow metal grates started closing over the doors. That's an exact scene out of the movie.
In the Library of Congress,
yeah,
too,
the second one.
I love how they were kind of aware of like the action trope. Like, it's going really slow.
Yeah, it's really slow.
Take your time.
Liam Neeson has a butter knife. Neeson tossed his butter knife at the back door, jamming the grate shut. Suddenly, from the other side of the library, the doors burst open, and the two thieves could hear the sound of boots tramping down the floor and men shouting. Cage, run, Liam Neeson said. I'll hold them off. You can escape with me, you idiot, Nicolas Cage said, grabbing Liam Neeson's arm and dragging him to the exit. The two broke into a full run, and when they reached the door, Liam Neeson did a spinning kick, busting it open.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure in the movie version there's like 18 cuts, because Liam Neeson cannot do action. So it was just like, have you ever seen, I haven't seen Taken 3, but the footage from it, when he's like trying to jump over a fence?
No, I haven't
It's like 5 cuts. He's not doing it.
That's like some old man action, Clint Eastwood stuff.
Yeah. The two leapt out through the door, landing hard on the hill leading back down to the deserted back road where the car was parked. Cage slipped and started rolling down the hill, whereas Neeson was able to stumble down with slightly more dignity. It sounds right to me, honestly. Like, I mean, it checks out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would happen.
Liam's a little more composed.
Yeah, of course.
He's British.
Nick Cage is just so crazy. He's like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting into the car, Liam bolted into the front seat as Cage hurled himself over Neeson's lap and into the passenger seat. Yanking the recipe out of his pocket, he began memorizing it as Neeson turned the car on and reversed as fast as he could out of the back road, eventually Tokyo drifting onto the highway as Nick gasped.
Nick
Gasped.
Oh, I'm
Nick
sorry.
gasped.
I misheard.
What is it? Neeson asked, trying to focus on driving. Well, I was reading this. I noticed something. If you read every first word, you get a secret message, Cage explained. Well, what is it? I can't read it myself, Neeson yelled. It reads, Liam Neeson's daughter has been taken by the Illuminati and she's being held at... Cage read. There was a pause. Well, go on. I don't have all day, Liam yelled again. That's all it says. The rest of the note is on another recipe, Cage explained. Well, what recipe? I held the card up into the light, and there's a watermark on it. It says, Jefferson macaroni and cheese, Cage continued. What does that mean? Thomas Jefferson invented macaroni and cheese, Nick said. Then in parentheses, author's note. This is probably true.
Just throw it in
It's
there.
probably true. Who knows? So the rest is on that card. Well, why don't we go get that card, too? I noticed it. It wasn't there. What? Cage, if it's not there, Liam's voice weakened. My daughter. I saw where it was, at least. Neeson grabbed Cage's shirt. Cage, he said sternly, where is it. The card where it would be read in use, Liam. It's being used for what? To make macaroni and cheese? Exactly. Well, who's using it then? Who has it? I think you can guess. Liam thought. You want to guess, Ryan? Who has the card?
I don't know, like the Kraft Corporation?
Liam thought. Obama. He has it. Dead on. We need to rob the White House and Barack Obama for Thomas Jefferson's macaroni and cheese recipe. This could be National Treasure 3. And that's how the chapter ends. So how in the movie where it's like, we need to steal the Declaration of Independence, which is when it's just dead on.
Yeah.
We need to rob the White House and Barack Obama for Thomas Jefferson's macaroni and cheese recipe.
In these movies, again, are for like the family. So
Yeah.
in order for the kids to keep up, Nick Cage has to deliver one very succinct expository line. Like, here's what the next scene's going to be
That's
about
100%
kids.
right. Yeah.
So that's perfect.
No, I know. So that part, spot on.
I'm just like, I've got like whiplash from all the directions that this story is going.
I like the Tokyo drifting backwards.
Tokyo
Liam
drift.
Neeson.
It's become like its own.
It has, yeah.
Like verb.
Yes.
Like, oh, that guy drifted around. That guy Tokyo.
That guy
drifted.
Tokyo drifted. Yeah.
You ever seen Tokyo Drift?
No, I just know the song.
It is outrageous.
Doesn't it mess with the continuity of Fast and the Furious?
It does. It does.
Like pretty significantly.
Pretty significantly.
Yeah.
And also, there's a guy he's supposed to be posing as a high school student.
Yeah.
An American, transfer to Japan.
Yeah.
And he just looks way too old. He's like jacked and he's way too old.
I'm a high schooler.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, we're here
talking
for
about
National Treasure 3 Trace.
I'm into this. And I love, there's always a watermark in National Treasure.
Yes,
It's like, look at the
always.
document. If it doesn't help you, look at the watermark.
Yes.
If you're taking a test and you don't know the watermark is the
Watermark.
answer key.
Or look at get some lemon juice, rub it on the back of the Declaration of Independence. There's a map there that you can only read
Invisible ink.
Invisible ink. And you can only read it with Benjamin Franklin's glasses.
The trifocals.
Yes.
They're bifocals, but in the movie they were trifocals, right?
Well, they had the little like colors that you could flip over them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that old school 3D glasses look.
Yeah, the cyan and magenta. Chapter 3. Liam Neeson stopped Nicolas Cage's car in front of the White House so the two of them could steal Barack Obama's recipe for macaroni and cheese, a dish invented by former president and member of the Illuminati, Thomas Jefferson. Having recapped the story, Liam pulled up to a hedge that was...
Exactly, perfect.
Yeah, hey. Liam pulled up to a hedge that was so thick none of the guards could see through it.
Convenient.
Nick, we can sneak in through here, Liam said, getting out of the vehicle. The hedge is too dark, and we can get in there. Have you ever seen one of those like high school plays where they basically say everything they're doing as they act it out? Like one of those just awful.
Yeah.
Awful. This is how it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm picturing in my head.
Well, funny story. I was in a pantomime in high school, and I got a lot of feedback that it wasn't clear what I was doing. So when I went to competition, I just said, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going in the door," which immediately disqualified me.
you're not allowed to talk.
But I feel like people followed the story a lot better.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I did a pantomime in high school. So whatever, for thespians. Sure, Nick said, diving into the hedge. Parentheses. The part where they actually sneak into the White House is almost identical to the part in the last chapter where they sneak into the Library of Congress, and that part was a stupidly large chunk of text, so we're going to skip ahead.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Let's have a moment of silence so we can just let the
envision
listener
what happened.
envision it.
Remember the guns, the knife. All right, yeah, there we go.
That was awesome.
I thought it was good.
That was badass.
But this time it was into the White House, obviously.
Oh, I was still doing
One more time?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay, there we go. You're telling me that I have to dangle down into Obama's kitchen by this rope? Oh, sorry, it's a Liam Neeson. Who cares? By this rope and take the recipe out of his hand and then have you pull me back up? Liam Neeson angrily hissed at Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Fine. Pop this grate and dangle me. Nick yanked the grate up and tied one end of the rope around Liam Neeson's ankle. Liam slid through the grate, the rope tightening around his ankle. Seeing Obama below him, he reached his hand out to grab the recipe from his hand.
Liam Neeson's like 6'4", and it's tied around his ankle?
He's a big guy, yeah.
Keep going.
The other end, I believe, is tied around a grate. So
Okay.
there was a good 6 feet in between Obama and Liam. These are tall ceilings.
Yeah. And Obama's a pretty tall guy, too.
Yeah, I believe he's about 6 foot.
So, I mean,
6'1".
if there's 6 feet, that's like 20 feet.
Yeah, that's a tall ceiling, but
It's the White House.
yeah, who knows? Nick, Liam hissed back up. More rope. That's all there is, Nick hissed. Well, I can't reach it. Hold on, I've got an idea. Liam started swinging a bit, then felt a weight above him. Nicolas Cage was sliding down the rope after Liam Neeson. Dangle me. God damn. Cage, I'll yell at you later. Neeson said, pulling up and taking Cage's ankle in his hands. Cage let go of the rope and swung down. Neeson almost dropped him into Obama's pot of boiling macaroni. Obama started stirring the macaroni, not noticing the two men above him. Cage held his arms up, not wanting to dangle them in Obama's face. Just a second, Nick hissed, waiting. Obama peered into the pot, giving Cage an opening. Cage stretched for the note card, snatching it from Obama's hands. Wait, how are we going to get back up? Liam hissed. In the old plan, you were supposed to pull me up, but you're down here now. At this point, the crappy knot Nick had put in the rope around the grate unwove, and the two men fell into the floor. Obama turned. What are you two doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Let me
Trying to
be clear.
steal my macaroni? End chapter 3.
Oh, a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait. They don't really know how to get back. First of all, dangle me, bro.
Dangle me. Quick, dangle me. Dangle.
Wait. So if
I need a good dangling.
I just want to say that, like, if he had climbed down and gotten it, he could have just climbed back up and then pulled up Liam Neeson.
Of course.
But they didn't. I mean, I guess they're in the moment.
Well, the knot unwove. You gotta follow along.
But they said they didn't know how they were going to get back up.
Liam Neeson didn't, but Nick had it up
Okay,
here.
Nick knew what's going on.
He's a wild card. He never gives his plan out.
That's why I like him.
I know.
He's a maverick.
He is a maverick. So yeah, chapter 4. Let's do this. Where we at? Sorry. Okay. So you're telling me that the Illuminati kidnapped your daughter because of a prophecy in this recipe for ice cream? What's up?
Are the uhs in the script?
No, that's just how I do my Obama
no,
impression.
that's good.
It's a poor Obama impression, I understand.
I know. I think the uhs have to make it.
What, make the impression?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Obama does a lot of.
Yeah.
Let me be clear.
I thought it would be really funny
if they were
if
in
it was,
there.
Yeah.
I'll just read Obama normal. We know I don't do a good impression.
Yeah. We all know what Obama sounds like. more or less.
Recipe for ice cream and the rest of the prophecy. You need this recipe for macaroni and cheese. Obama asked. Yes, Liam Neeson said in a serious tone. That's about it, Nicolas Cage followed up with.
That was Obama. Oh, that was Nick Cage. Okay.
Yeah.
Your Obama's and Nick Cage. I can't tell the difference.
That's not true.
That's true. You're right. I'm sorry.
Well, sure you can borrow it, Obama said. What? Both men were shocked. Yeah, I don't need it that much. I just took it out because I needed to make macaroni and cheese for my friend who's visiting. And because it's already out of the library, I can just say I wanted it a little longer, Obama explained. Just bring it back. Well, thank you, Mr. President, Liam Neeson said. If I may ask, who's coming to dinner, Mr. President? Cage asked Obama. Oh, my good friend. Do you want to guess?
Ooh, I don't like Vladimir Putin. I don't know.
No. Oh, my good friend Kanye West. There was a pause, and then
Wait,
Obama said...
Kanye West isn't Obama's friend. He's Trump's friend.
I think he's just both. I think if there's someone who's powerful, he's going to be his friend.
He's a friend of
if he can do it,
presidents.
Yeah. Oh, my good friend Kanye West. There was a pause, and then Obama said, you guys can join us if you want to. 20 minutes later, Nick and Liam were sitting at the table. Obama was at one end, and Kanye was on the other. Man, Obama, it just blows my mind to know that you rule the entire country. Like, wow. Kanye said. He didn't seem to stop talking. I mean, no one man should have all that power. Obama attempted
Clock's
to defend
moving,
himself.
yeah.
Well, I actually have a cabinet and 2 other houses to limit my powers, and beyond that, I need the people to vote on. I mean, no one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking. I just count the hours.
That's the line.
Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. The Obama turned to Nick Cage and Neeson. He does this. Kanye stopped to breathe for a second, and Obama cut in. So, what are your thoughts on what I've actually been doing, Kanye? I don't know. Everybody's been saying that I'm the abomination of Obama's nation. And I said, that's a pretty good rhyme. But that's a bad way to start a conversation. Like, no one man should have... You get it.
No, it's a little sing-along. It's like a call and response.
Obama turned to Liam Neeson and Nicolas Cage. You guys can probably go now. I don't think he'll even notice you. Thank you, Liam said. He and Cage stepped out. Okay, seriously now, Liam said as they started walking to the car. What does it say? Well, the first one said, Liam Neeson's daughter has been taken by the Illuminati and she's being held at... Cage said, recapping. And the second one says, our secret base in the Arctic Ocean, near Russia. And then there's a lot of coordinates. So if we steal a boat, Liam said. Let's do it, Cage finished. End chapter.
Why they always... Couldn't they just get a boat? Why are they stealing things? They're wealthy.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Why do they just... I guess it's more action-y, you know? It adds more drama.
Well, I mean, sometimes in action, it's just like cut to, like Matthew McConaughey on a boat going through the Sahara.
Yeah. But I guess like kind of like a Jason Bourne, he's always stealing things.
Well, Jason Bourne has like no identity, no
exactly.
possessions. These guys...
Maybe Nick Cage doesn't think he does.
I like to think Nick Cage...
He probably really thinks he can turn into Ghost Rider.
Oh, man. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Space Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Cosmic Ghost Rider. So this is in parentheses. Liam Neeson drove the boat that he and Cage had stolen, and a hilarious side story that I had taken a lot of text, so I removed it. I don't believe that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
That's okay. They couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah. You didn't have to say steal the boat. You just said they got there. Mm-hmm. No one would have questioned how they got there. That's Liam Neeson and Nick Cage. They can afford it. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Well, I mean, maybe not Nick Cage. He sunk all his money into this ice cream shop.
Well, yes, but Liam could. He's trying to find his daughter, and no money is too much.
That's true.
And he has a particular set of skills. Mm-hmm. So
skills that he can use to steal a boat, I guess.
Yeah.
So why pay when you can steal?
Exactly.
No, I've come back around.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank God that boatman had a spare tiger pelt, Cage said. To be honest, I'm surprised he had one, Liam said, shouting over the hum of the motor. Cage checked the stolen GPS. It's also stolen. They had
it's like in Skyrim. Like everything inside of
stolen,
it is also stolen.
Exactly, yeah, it's also stolen. They had input the Illuminati had given them 66.6 latitude, 66.6 longitude.
Do we actually know where that is?
I did look it up.
Okay.
It is in Russia. Now, interestingly enough, it's on land, but it's actually at like the corner of a river. So you know how like River Snake, right? So they would be on a boat. They could be in Russia. Mm-hmm. So it's not crazy, but they're not in the Arctic Ocean. And I think this is trying to say they're in the Arctic Ocean.
Well, I'm impressed that the author even knew to put
100%.
them in the Arctic Ocean. Isn't there a 66.6 degrees south and a 66.6?
They'll put you on the other side of the world.
Yeah, who's to say they're not there?
No, in the Arctic Ocean, in Russia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's technically negative. If you go south, that's negative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if it's positive, that's northeast. Mm-hmm. So that's the eastern hemisphere in the north.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many minutes? So it's 66 degrees, 6 minutes?
It's 36 minutes. It'd be 36 minutes.
Oh, okay. That makes
sense.
0.6.
Yeah, it'd be 36 minutes.
0.6 times 60. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I looked it up, though. It's in Russia. They got that right.
Okay, cool.
Neeson pulled his stolen spyglass... That's stolen, too. Stolen spyglass from his stolen trench coat and peered through it.
Wait, was the trench coat was on the boat?
They probably just mugged a guy and took his boat, realistically. And his tiger pelt.
That doesn't sound hilarious. They didn't include this because it wouldn't make us sympathize with the heroes.
Yeah. He could see an island shaped like a human skull. Jamming down the pedal, he sped ahead. That's an action trope right there. I love it. Love the imagery.
That you're always going just below maximum, and you can always shift one more gear to get to the next level. When you get determined.
We're almost to the people who took my daughter, Liam growled. Beaching the boat on the shore, Liam and Nick popped out. Is there anyone else here? Nick asked. So, a voice said. You guys finally made it.
I think I know that voice.
Who is it?
Is that Kanye West?
It's Kanye. It was Kanye West. That's right, Cage, Kanye shouted. Why did you take my daughter, you son of a gun? Liam shouted.
It's just very clean so far.
Yeah. You two are the only two people who could stop me. I wanted to fight you both here on my terms, on my island, Kanye said. That's why I opened a much better ice cream shop than yours on the Illuminati's money to drive you out of business. And then you'd go to Liam for help, just as he went to you for help, and then you'd both come here, Kanye explained. But why? What are your goals and determinations? Nick shouted. We want to overthrow the president because...
No one man should have all that power.
Kanye shouted, visibly fighting the urge to start rapping again. But, Nick started, were you listening to the president? He said that, bruh, I only got time to listen to two things, Soviet brainwashing and rap. Mine, Kanye shouted. And if you're looking to debate, start talking my language. Is that another lyric? I'm not very familiar with Kanye West.
Start talking my language.
Into debate, start talking my language.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably,
I don't know.
I
I love his early stuff.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
can't be called on to quote it at will.
I thought the Soviet brainwashing was interesting.
He's like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, well, all the stuff that's going on with Trump and Kanye being his friend, and everyone saying Trump's a puppet of.
Did this
Russia.
person? Was this written by Daniel Steele?
No, I wish. No, this is written when Obama was still president.
That's
so.
what I'm saying. Like that British agent who knew all the stuff. Yeah. I just want to make a quick another Winter Soldier reference.
Yeah.
Instead of like a metallic arm, Kanye's got a metallic jaw.
Yes, he does. He actually does.
Wait, does that come up in the story?
I'm not lying to you.
Oh, so he's like Odd Job, like from James Bond. Okay, I love this story. That's the last thing I'm gonna say.
Nick, he wants to fight us, Liam said. I'll do it. I'm more skilled. All right, fine, Nick said.
That is actually fair.
Yeah. Liam took a stance to fight and charged at Kanye. Swinging a fist at his head, he shouted. Kanye's head absorbed the impact, and Nick could hear Liam's knuckles crack. Why are you so tough? Liam yelled, pulling his hand away. Soviet cybernetics, son, Kanye shouted, pulling his fist up to block Liam's kick. They put him in me while I was vacationing to watch the Olympics. Liam, we should have known, Nick shouted. Only a robot could put up with Kim Kardashian. Nick reached into his pocket. Catch. Sticking his hand up, Liam Neeson caught what Nicolas Cage had thrown. The butter knife.
How do you feel about Kanye being a robot in this?
He's a cyborg.
How do you feel about cyborgs?
It's vibing. It's working for me.
That makes sense.
Yes.
All right, sorry.
It's working for me. The butter knife. Not stopping for anything, Liam drove the butter knife into Kanye West's cybernetic eye and popped it out of the socket.
Nice.
You realize that won't stop me, right? Kanye yelled, his remaining eyes scanning around the area at a much faster rate to make up for his lack of vision. Dat don't kill me, can only make me stronger. And he grabbed the butter knife and snapped it in two. Liam looked around for sticks or something he could jab into Kanye's robot eye again, either to totally blind him or damage his one eye socket further. Liam Neeson, we are fighting a robot. Oh, sorry, this is a Nick Cage. Well, yeah.
Liam Neeson. Liam.
No, that's how Nick Cage. That's how Nick Cage talks the rest of the story.
Well, okay. Well, see, the thing is, every time Kanye talks, it's in all caps. And for some reason,
That's
Nick
a brilliant
Cage
choice.
I know. And for some reason, this particular Nick Cage line is in all caps.
All Nick Cage lines could also be in all caps.
They should be.
Liam Neeson. We're finding a robot who runs on electricity on a beach next to water.
Nick Cage shouted. He then threw a pail of water on Kanye.
Stolen pail, I would assume.
Of course. No, Kanye stuttered. It had to be a beautiful death.
Oh.
Well, Liam said, not very climactic. Looking around the beach, Cage noticed a trap door. There's probably something right in there. And what's more, there only might be a murderous cyborg rapper in there. Might? Oh, that's a Nick Cage line. Who cares? Might, Liam asked. Yeah, there might be, versus the 100% legit murderous cyborg out here, Cage shouted, walking to the door. Let's go in. Entering and sliding down the ladder, the two men found themselves in what felt and looked like a freezer. What is this place? Asked Liam. The secret base of the Illuminati, said Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, freezer. It's all coming back to the ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. So that's the end of chapter 5. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that joke in 22 Drum Street. Captain, your office looks like a big block of ice. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that it's not the author's fault, but I think in all stories, people just have like a very like fundamental understanding of machines and like robotics.
Yeah.
So there's like, oh, there's some sort of circuits, water.
Yeah.
Water is the enemy.
Well, if you think about it, he's a cyborg. Humans are what, 70% water, 90% water. It's a big amount.
That's true. Yeah, if you're
If you're a
cyborg,
cyborg, you're already wired in.
you're a human being with
Exactly.
those implants
Exactly.
to make you robotic.
Yeah, so we're gonna pass over it.
Yeah,
but
like
that's a good point.
Like that guy from Star Wars, what was his name? Like Lobot, the guy who follows around Lando.
Probably.
He has like no speaking lines.
I don't know any of the background characters.
He just kind of follows around.
Chapter 6. That's right, Neeson and Cage. We were behind the Illuminati this whole time, Ice Cube said. He was wearing a toga and a laurel, but he also had gold chains wrapped around his neck and wrists.
Okay.
Ice Cube, I loved you in Are We There Yet?
Cage said. Also loved that movie.
So this is taking place in the universe where all these people are famous and they're also like movie stars.
I guess.
Yeah.
And Kanye West is a cyborg.
That would be an interesting turn for National Treasure 3 to bring it to the real world.
I'm
That'd be
ready.
super meta.
I'm ready for it. Wait, Neeson said, holding his hand up dramatically. Who's this we you speak of? All of the rappers with ice-themed names. The Illuminati is ice-themed itself, which is why we hit our prophecy and a recipe for ice cream.
Okay.
We invented it.
Wait, the prophecy was that they were going to steal Liam Neeson's
Yeah, it was
daughter?
written on the ice cream.
That's like that's the Illuminati's, like, that's their goal.
It's a prophecy. Yeah, they knew it was going to happen.
Well, of course they knew it was going to happen. They planned it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going to drink this tea right now. That's my prophecy.
Well, no. I mean, you had to wait for a Liam Neeson. It was written back in the 1760s
okay.
or something.
Could this be the Liam Neeson of old?
Exactly, yeah.
The hero of
Is
time.
he the one that was in all the tales?
Oh, okay.
Does he have a daughter? We have to take her.
Okay. I'm sorry again. That makes more sense.
We're all here. Ice-T, Vanilla Ice, Iceberg Slim, and Coolio. And I just love to picture Coolio with his just ugly braids and like a laurel and toga and just gold. Yeah, just...
What about LL Cool J?
We forgot one. Maybe he's off doing some other stuff. He can also be a cyborg.
Yeah. National Treasure 4.
Yeah. Ice Cube said, pointing out the other rappers who also had the toga chains combo. Is Tupac here? Asked Cage. Because I heard Tupac is dead, okay? All the rappers shouted in unison. So this author has such a big issue with the Tupac.
Yeah, don't be silly.
Yeah, come on, don't be stupid.
What about Kanye?
Nick asked.
He's not ice themed.
His lack of an ice name allows us to go undercover, totally unseen, completely unnoticed, and totally invisible, Vanilla Ice said. His toga was actually just an American flag.
Oh, nice.
Unnoticed?
Cage asked incredulously. Assuming his reprogramming worked properly, he should be quiet, selfless, and almost unknown, Ice-T said. It's the same reason we use DMX, one of our first cyborgs. His reports always list him as polite, demure, and kind, Coolio said.
Nice.
In all caps. Polite? I don't know who said that one. They don't specify. Enough of this, Liam Neeson said. Where is my daughter? He shouted, holding his half of a butter knife threateningly. Yo, calm down, said a new voice. It's all cool. Ice-T turned around. Who's there?
It's all. Is it Obama? I don't know.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
We thought we told you not to come around here anymore. His name is a nice theme, so I don't get that one. Oh man, why? Snoop asked. You still use your gangster voice. Everyone in here uses their proper Romanesque voice.
I don't know if I don't. That sounds kind of iffy.
Yeah, it's a little racist. Just a little bit. And you just put your toga on over your hoodie, sweats, and shoes. And laurels do not belong on Rasta caps.
I love when like a character, like someone's like dress is revealed to you like slowly through dialogue.
Oh yeah. Man, that ain't no fun. Liam was starting to get tired. Where is my daughter, you sarcastic ice-themed rhythm poets? I have her, Liam, shouted yet another voice.
Let me try to guess
dear.
this one. Is this this?
Let me get right before they reveal it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh dear, said Vanilla Ice. You've awoken the beast, Neeson.
What's happening?
Cage asked. The rappers were all silent, and then, in unison, they raised their arms and spoke as one. No, it's not Hitler.
Is it another rapper? Can I get a hint?
It's not a rapper.
It's not a rapper?
It's a world leader.
But I'm not a rapper. I don't know. I can't even guess at this point.
I picture it like Scooby-Doo when they finally unmask the Putin. It's Vladimir Putin.
Okay, that should have been easy.
And the floor cracked and exploded open, flinging flames everywhere. Out of the hole in the floor rose the man leading Russia, Vladimir Putin. I see you've come for me, come to stop me, he said in a booming voice. You can try. The flames behind him caught onto his suit, and his suit began burning. The wrappers began shying away from the burning world leader as his suit jacket began burning away, revealing a torso rippling with muscles. Are you ready to face me, Neeson? Putin yelled. Neeson raised his fists, but Cage stopped him. You fought Kanye, Liam. He removed his jacket. I'll take this one. Dropping his coat on the floor, he chuckled to himself. It's going to be a cage match.
Oh, baby, yeah.
10-10, all these puns are great. All these references, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like if in 100 years, someone's like, what's something we can use to describe 100 years ago? Like that, the moment. Maybe 105, whenever this was written. Mm-hmm. I want them to use this. This must be used.
What is like 2013 in a snapshot?
This story.
This
Chapter
is
7.
almost like Nostradamus. Like this is predicting
I know,
a lot.
I know. All right. Do you like the full reading so far? Are we good?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sticking. There is a lot of stuff in here.
Perfect.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Chapter 7.
It would be a shame to miss it.
Yeah. Cage. That's why I couldn't. I couldn't summarize it because it was just. It would sound so weird if I summarized it because it's like you're lying. Kanye West isn't a cyborg. I'm like, no, he fought a robot Kanye, and you're like, I don't believe you. So I have to read it.
Yeah. I mean, this is all true, so I believe it.
Yeah. Cage stared at Putin. Putin stared back. Well then, come on, Putin yelled. Cage swung his fist at Putin, who took it on the chin. His entire chin had seemed to turn to metal. Taking a few more swings, Cage soon had bruised his knuckles to the point where he could hit no more. He tried kicking Putin's torso, but that hardened to metal steel as well. Liam was watching. His skin hardened up to what looked like steel an instant before a fist could make contact with it. What? How are you so tough? Cage yelled. Nanomachines, son, Putin growled back, his Russian accent displaying itself. They harden in response to physical contact. Liam, get the bucket. They're waterproof too, American, Putin yelled, laughing. Putin grabbed Cage by the throat and leapt out the trapdoor. Liam turned to the circle of rappers. Here, yo, said Snoop. Take this on yo quest. He threw a small box at Liam, who then opened it. A butter knife? Yeah, Snoop Dogg said, nodding. There's something else in there, yo. This isn't me being, assuming this is how he speaks. This is actually how it's written, just so you know.
Like with the yos and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, and I think it's important. You are doing a voice, but it's because they're in that, like, they even make note of it. Like, hey, stop, you need to have your Romanesque voice.
Yeah. You gave me a sponge? Asked Neeson. How is that supposed to help me? Yo, you gon' see. Liam shook his head and started hauling out of the trapdoor where he could see Cage trying to hit Putin with a stick. Why won't you die? Cage shouted, which sounded to me that sounds a lot more like a Keanu Reeves question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Why won't you die? Cage shouted. Nanomachine, so I know. Liam cast around for something he could use the sponge on. The sea? Maybe he could sponge Putin to death with seawater. He saw Cage take an iron fist on the chin and fly backwards. Liam began to worry. He knew his friend couldn't survive many hits from Putin. Suddenly, he looked behind the two and saw what he could sponge. Running into the fight, he shoved Cage out of the way. Take this, he shouted, and threw the sponge at him. Save Kanye! He's our only hope! Cage took the sponge and ran through the sand, sliding to Kanye and began sponging the seawater off of him. Kanye's remaining eye began whirring to life, staring around the scenario. What happened? He asked, still stuttering. If you save Liam from Putin, I'll save you. Kanye's eyes flashed red, then glared bright blue. Deal, he said in an eerie, echoing voice. Bet. The cyborg leapt up, his servos growling and whirring as he pushed himself off the sand and leapt to Putin. Cage realized that not only were the machine parts growling, but the man himself was growling with determination and anger. The water thrown on him had clearly jolted him out of his Soviet reprogramming. And the deal I made with him, just seal the deal, Cage punned. I don't know what the pun is. I'm going to be honest with you. Seal the deal. And the deal I made with him, just seal the deal, Cage pun.
He makes a deal, and now like seal the deal by killing him. Also, maybe Seal is in this, like the singer.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get the pun, but Cage punned. Putin made a swing at Liam, who was not doing well. However, before his fist could connect, Kanye slid in front of him, kicking up sand and absorbing the blow with a heavy clang. Kanye, Putin yelled, I thought you were on my side. You aren't a hero. I am now, Putin, Kanye said, pushing Liam Neeson back slightly. I've been changing sides a lot recently. America, Britain, Russia. I've been wrong. I know what side I fight for now. My side, he shouted vehemently. But what if you're wrong again, Putin yelled back. I know I got to be right now, 'cause I can't get much wronger. I don't know where the Britain came from. He said he...
Yeah, I kind of want like a lost
idea.
Kanye years fan fiction where we kind of...
he was in Britain
where
the
we
whole
explore him
time.
as this like rogue agent of the state.
Yes. So that's the end of chapter 7. So we're setting up for a big match here.
Yeah, huge throwdown.
Kanye West stared down Putin as Liam Neeson and Nicolas Cage stared at the two. You're forgetting one thing, Kanye, Putin said. Nanomachines are stronger than cybernetics by a large degree. To prove his point, he swung his fist at Kanye, who caught it. However, there was a sickening crunch, and Liam could see Kanye's false rubber skin split open.
Oh no, this is like when T2, Terminator 2, when what was it, 2000 or whatever,
yeah.
the new one fought Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is sad.
So just picture that.
I got it.
However, there was a sickening crunch, and Liam could see Kanye's false rubber skin split open, revealing a metallic interior, and as Putin put on more power, he could hear the interior begin to strain as smoke poured out of it. Putin pushed as hard as he could, and the metal inside Kanye's arm cracked as a snap could be heard inside it. Kanye flew backwards, unable to hold the Russian machine back any longer. Everyone in Russia loves me, West, Putin shouted as he stepped towards Kanye. All of the East is behind me, he yelled even louder as he reached Kanye's body. In fact, I'd say that the East is about to defeat... He paused to comedic timing. The West. That's actually written in there, I promise.
That's good.
He raised his arms to perform a Russian elbow drop, but he was interrupted by what sounded like a sonic boom overhead. All four looked up to see a fleet of planes, the leader of which had an American flag tied to its tail. The bay doors of the lead one opened and dropped what looked like a tiny bomb. Putin laughed. I can catch whatever you throw at me, Obama, he shouted at the bomb. My body puts out what we call a fortune field. All bombs, grenades, and bullets will fail, misfire, and if they manage to leave the gun, ricochet away from my body. He laughed. The only thing that is permitted is humans, and there isn't a human that can defeat me. The bomb was nearing Putin. The metal side split off, revealing a tiny capsule. Just before it could have hit, the capsule opened, and whatever was inside hit Putin with full force. Despite his fortune field, there was still an explosion. Cage hoped that it might have killed him. The smoke cleared. A human shape was visible through it. Cage's heart sank. But as the smoke and sand settled more and more, Cage realized that it couldn't be Putin. It was a black man. Putin rose up from the sand at the black man's feet, ready to face him. But as he raised his hand, he stepped back once he saw the man's face. Kanye, Neeson, Cage, and Putin all reacted at the same time, shouting the man's name. What is it?
It's Obama.
Obama? That's right, Obama said back coolly. It's me. You fool, Putin said. Even if you have cybernetics like Kanye, you'll still fall to me. And he leapt at Obama, doing a spin kick as he shouted in Russian. However, the leg connected to Obama's face. He turned silver an instant before, just like Putin did. Obama, Putin yelled, his eyes glowing red with anger. When did you Americans invent nanomachines? Just now, Obama said. I knew, as every president does, of the ice cream prophecy. He removed his blazers so he was just in his nice shirt and tie.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that I would be the one who had to deal with it. Taking off his tie, he said. And I know that the Russians have had nanomachines for years. Removing his shirt so he was in pants and shoes, just like Putin. He followed up with, and I've known to make them for a while. I just haven't known how to make them. Taking a stance across from Putin, he finished with, "And having seen you use them, I know how to use it too. Keep them racing around your insides, running through your blood, and then have them rise to the surface and form a shield against damage just before something can hit." "Smart, Obama. Very intelligent," Putin hissed. "But that only means we're evenly matched." Wrong," Obama said to Putin's surprise. "I have less nanomachines than you do. There's only so much protection that the nanomachines can provide, and I have just enough to provide maximum power. But when you have overloaded your body with them to the point where it's slowing you down, your speed is just about a human's level. But mine is much higher."
It's like a parabola. You can go too far. You can get weighed down by the nanotechnology.
"How much higher, Obama?" Putin growled, growing tired of Obama's exposition.
This has become like those episodes of Dragon Ball Z where they just talk.
They just talk, yeah.
Like
and
that.
all the people are just standing there watching. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they're just standing there like, "Oh no.
Yeah.
His power levels are over 9,000.
Kids, Obama better be careful.
Yeah.
Like Krillin.
Have you ever, and totally off topic, have you ever seen the meme where it's like when people in anime play Uno and he like pulls a draw 4 and there's someone who's like
that they did like a reading of that on YouTube.
That's
it's
perfect.
like a 30-second video. Look it up, Uno anime. It's so funny.
Okay, good. Uno anime.
It's so funny.
"How much higher, Obama?" Putin growled, growing tired of Obama's exposition. Well, Obama began. However, he then blurred like a film filter was just put over him. In that same instant, Putin fell to the floor, howling in pain as a bruise was already forming on his chest. That fast.
Oh, this is like when Goku meets the Ginyu Force, and he's moving so quickly they can't even see. He's just wrecking shop.
You're just saying words, but I agree. "How are you so..." Putin paused to cough. "Fast, American." Obama smiled. "Nanomachines, son."
How does that taste?
End chapter 8.
Bit of your own medicine, huh, Putin?
How do you like that, Putin? Chapter 9. Obama's fist rippled with metal as the nanomachines blow up prepared for battle. "Well, Obama," Putin hissed. The nanomachines in his skin were trying to repair the damage, but they were only able to fix it slowly. They were made to block, not recover. "It seems you have me. My nanomachines aren't fast enough for bullets, but the fortunate field prevents that. However, you've tricked it with your nanomachines, so I would admit defeat, but..." And he turned to Kanye. Cage briefly remembered how earlier today he had been worrying about his failing ice cream shop. Hey, you gotta remember it at some point.
Got to bring it back to the initial
exactly.
struggle.
Putin stepped at Kanye and shouted, "Kanye West, are you up to the Kanye test?" Kanye stood as his eye glowed red. Putin continued, "Satisfy your Kanye quest." Kanye took a fighting stance as Putin finished with, "Be better than all the Kanye rest. Be the Kanye best." Kanye flew at Obama, the false rubber skin on his arm flying off. Obama dodged Kanye's swing, looking at his robotic arm. Kanye, what are you doing?" "The rhyme is that we used to, that rhyme is what we used to brainwash him, Obama." "Ha ha 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 ha," Putin yelled. "And now he's our puppet again." "Putin, you fool," Obama shouted. "I'm not going to fight my friend." And then he remembered, "And thanks to my nanomachines, I don't have to. I'll absorb all his hits without any issue." "I know," Putin chuckled. "That's the plan." Kanye got a hit on Obama, but as he had said, he absorbed the blow without any issue, thanks to his nanomachines. But Kanye's robotic arm began smoking again as the crack in it widened.
Oh, no.
A second hit tore the false skin off of his other arm. Kanye jumped back and pulled the rubber off, leaving him in his ripped hoodie with 2 metal arms. Both were now cracked.
That's awesome.
"No," Obama whispered. "That's right, Obama," Putin yelled. "He's going to tear himself apart trying to kill you."
Dude, this is so good. Oh my gosh.
Suddenly, Liam Neeson remembered that he was in this story. Cage the bucket!
Yeah.
So, I mean, Cage remembers the ice cream parlor. Liam Neeson just remembers that he's present. And he's old. That probably happens all the time.
I have to do this.
I am in this. Suddenly, Liam Neeson remembered that he was in the story. "Cage the bucket!" "Of course," shouted Nick. Cage and Neeson leapt up and ran to the bucket. Nick ran and filled it with water, and then passed it to Liam, who ran it back to Kanye. Obama had caught Kanye's fist in his hands after a punch and was trying to hold him back. But Obama was simply too strong and was beginning to crush Kanye's hands. Liam poured the water over Kanye, who froze up. Obama released his hands, but then Kanye began attacking again, swinging his fists. Obama had no time to react, and his nanomachines rose up to absorb the blows again, until Kanye's right fist cracked down the middle and his left arm snapped, giving him a very broken look. Obama leapt back. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger, he said, his
takes on
eye
such a
glowing
different tone.
black now.
Oh, man.
Liam, what do we do now? Nick asked.
Kanye's gonna rip himself apart.
Liam started panicking. Suddenly, he had a thought. Obama, catch, he said, tossing the butter knife. Knock him out. Obama had a better plan. He deflected the knife off his hand, sending the sharp side at Kanye. It flew straight at his forehead, cutting a chunk of the rubber and revealing a metal skull below it. However, it didn't end there. The knife ricocheted further and hit Putin directly in the forehead, blade away. Obama leapt over the sand and caught the butter knife in his hand and threw it again, bouncing it off of Putin's head. He essentially began dribbling it at this point, sending the metal bouncing off of Putin's head.
Because it always ricochets.
Yeah, over and over again as he fell. Just before he made contact with Putin, his limbs and body flew into a pose, so he was upside down. He caught the stunned Putin in his arms and kicked, flipping him right side up and suplexing Putin into the sand.
I'm so confused. I've lost it. Suplexes him.
He suplexes him to the sand.
I'm here for it.
Obama stepped back. It looks like Putin was just... He paused for comedic effect. Put down.
Putin put down.
Put down.
Okay.
Kanye's eyes turned from black to red and then went to dark as he hit the sand. Obama picked him up and began carrying him. Kanye hissed to life just a bit and struggled out of Obama's arms. Wait, Obama. I was a machine made to destroy you, but I can use my technology on Putin. You aren't going to kill him, right? Asked Cage. Neeson just remembered why he had come here and bolted down to the trapdoor to get his daughter.
Yeah. Where is his daughter? Yeah.
Nah, Kanye said. I'm going to take his nanomachines. And a small needle popped out of his pointer finger. He pushed the needle into Putin's shoulder, and the nanomachines began draining his body into Kanye. Nanomachines plus cyborg will probably mean that I'll be slow, but I'll be able to heal, and be tougher than Putin.
He's a tank.
Cage nodded. Well, if Putin's no longer an issue, Obama began, I can arrange for pickup right here on this beach. And he began radioing for assistance just as Liam Neeson and his daughter came out of the trapdoor. Everyone, Liam said, let's go home. So we got one more chapter.
That was a long chapter.
That was a long chapter. What are you thinking?
Ooh, I mean, I'm just like, this is such a visual story. You know, a lot is, you got to picture the action. There's things
the
like
suplexing.
Yeah, this could be read just like as a script with stage direction.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see this be made.
If this was like a comic book, I'd probably read. You know what also occurred to me is, have you watch Rick and Morty?
Yep.
You know that like kind of a downer. It was like the last season finale where he fights the president.
Yeah.
This is like straight. That is like completely ripped off of this. Like this person wrote it. Dan Harmon found it, and Justin Roiland.
Probably.
Like, let's do this.
Have you ever read Axe Cop?
Axe Cop?
Axe Cop.
No.
It's a comic book. It was written by Ethan.
It's about a veterinarian who uses nunchucks.
No, salad tongs.
Oh.
Yeah. It's written by Ethan and Malachi Nicole. Ethan, I believe, was in his mid-20s at the time. Malachi was 6.
Wait, what?
Malachi was the writer. So they created this character named Axe Cop, and Ethan was a professional comic book artist.
Oh, sweet.
And so
that's awesome.
Malachi came up with the stories. Ethan drew them.
That's great.
And they're awesome. Axe Cop is what got me into comic books.
Oh yeah,
I love Axe Cop.
There's also a YouTuber who has he's like a world class you know, manga artist, and he has his son create the characters, and then he just is the same kind of deal.
But this got published by Dark Horse. It was big for a while.
I'll have to check
and they
this
had
out.
they only went to 6 trades because Malachi grew up and all the stories started making sense.
Yeah, terrible.
And then they replaced it with his cousins, these 2 girls. Girls, when they're 6, they're already so smart. They already make too much sense. Like, they had this one segment called, like, Ask Axe Cop. And it's like, who would win, Axe Cop or Chuck Norris? And then they'd ask Malachi. And Malachi would describe it. Ethan would draw it. So my point is that this entire story reminds me of Axe Cop. It's great. I love it. Chapter 10. This is the epilogue.
Oh, beautiful.
A week later, Obama and his new vice president / bodyguard / personal rapper / personal Yeezus were running the nation and giving everyone free health care.
Have you accepted Kanye as your personal Yeezus?
I have. Liam Neeson and his daughter and Nicolas Cage were all working in his ice cream shop. But Putin was not dead. Deep in the Illuminati's secret base, Putin kneeled at the throne of his lord. So we thought Putin was in charge this whole time.
Oh, this is great.
Deep in the Illuminati's secret base.
This is Darth Vader, and we find out there's an emperor.
Exactly. Putin kneeled at the throne of his lord. My liege, he whispered, I have failed you. How dare you speak to me, or speak in such a way to our dark lord, Putin, yelled Nicki Minaj. I should have fed you to the snakes. Silence, Nicki, said a man in the shadows, sitting on a throne. What Obama doesn't know is that both he and Putin have prototype nanomachines. And the true nanomachines are in my body, said the Dark Lord. Well then, Nicki said. My lord, will you come out of the shadows? Putin asked. Yes. The man stood and walked almost into the light. His face was hidden, but he was wearing jeans, a golden chain around his neck, and a hooded robe.
I know who this is.
The robe's hood looked like a snake, and with the robe's length, the man almost looked like a snake rearing up to attack. I will return, but I only ask. Real quick, before he asks, who do you think it is?
I think it's Mr. T.
That's a good one. That's
Okay.
good.
Could be Chuck Norris.
The robe's hood looked like a snake, and with the robe's length, the man almost looked like a snake rearing up to attack. I will return, but I only ask. What is it, my lord? Nicki and Putin asked together. Do not call me the Dark Lord anymore. I do not feel like I am a lord. I still feel like my old self, he said. I still feel like I did when I was just a knight. So please call me by the name of the knight. You want us to call you sir? The two acolytes asked. Yes, call me by what the world once knew me as, he shouted. Call me Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yo, whoa! Whoa! Wow!
Yes. Both bowed to Sir Mix-a-Lot, and then they left.
Dun, 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 da.
Sir Mix-a-Lot turned back to his throne. My anaconda will rise again. That's the end of the story.
Whoa! The music, like the strings go, and then just boom, cuts to black.
Yep.
Is that a post-credit sequence, or do you think that's the end of the movie proper?
I actually don't like post-credit sequences, so I hope it's the end of the movie proper.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I like post-credit scenes, but this
I
is
like
too
them when
important.
they're not expected.
Okay.
When it's like the Pirates of the Caribbean. That was like a
Yeah.
little nugget for the fans, like the people that really cared and knew before the internet was so big. You're like, oh, I'm a fan, I'm staying all the way. But when it's Marvel and it's like, oh, that post-credit scene was great. It's like, yeah.
Post-credit, people just watch for the post-credit
That's what I'm
scene.
saying,
Once
yeah.
the battle starts, you're like,
Like-
okay, well, now this is gonna go well for the hero, and I gotta watch the post-credit scene.
Yeah. Like for Power Rangers, the new Power Rangers movie, I went with one of my friends, and the movie ended, and he's like, do you think there's going to be a post-credit scene? I'm like, come on, it's not a Marvel movie. There was.
I bet it was. Yeah,
There was.
And you were disappointed in that, or you
I
liked
was
that?
so mad.
Yeah.
I saw it when they put it online, but...
Okay. Wow.
so what do you think?
Setting
What do you
up
think?
perfectly. You know, it didn't. It did have a little like Americana in there. It was more about
Yeah.
American culture.
With the jets and the flag,
Yeah, I mean, and they go to the Library of Congress, I guess.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
White House.
And they go to the
I
White
totally
House.
forgot about that. I've read this twice. I totally forgot they go there.
Yeah. I mean, I again, like it's super visual, so you really have
Yes.
to kind of lock into
Yes.
it. But it also reminds me, like when I was a little kid and I used to write, all I cared about was action, right?
Yeah.
Because I only liked superheroes
Yeah.
and action films. So it was like, oh yeah, he flew back. There's only so many ways you can say, like he got
Exactly.
punched and he flew
Yeah,
back,
and
and then he flew back.
Then he flew back.
They all
yeah.
flew back.
So 5 things it did right. I feel like the action sequences were accurate as far as like Nick Cage and Liam Neeson.
Just kind of being sidelined.
Yeah.
being
Well, not
buffoons.
only that, but like how Nick Cage fell. Liam
Yeah.
Neeson, yeah. I thought it was funny. I honestly thought it was funny. We always ask like, who was this written for? I think it was written as a joke.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
wrote it on purpose
That's
as
safe
a
to
joke.
say. That's
so
safe to say.
definitely not making fun of. We're totally enjoying along with the author.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
like
the
to think.
author, I believe the author's intent was to make me laugh, and
Yeah,
it made me laugh.
He did it, and he wrote me in with National Treasure 3, and I stayed for Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, made me want a real Nick Cage, Liam Neeson movie. I would watch it. I'd watch it tomorrow.
Don't care about the plot.
No.
Doesn't matter.
I thought his portrayal of Kanye West was accurate.
How so? Just
Just the way I feel like he quotes himself all the time.
He doesn't quote his own songs, but I would agree that like maybe if he was a cyborg, he loses a bit of his Kanye-ness. So they programmed in like, what do we know? Kanye has his songs. Let's just have him quote the songs.
Yeah. I like that the latitude and longitude were right.
Yeah, that's actually
I thought that was really cool.
That's also weird that 66.6 is in Russia.
You know, the Russians actually have something there.
We have it set up like that.
Yeah.
We requested the line of longitude.
Criticisms, spelling and grammar. There are a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I can only
I had to
imagine.
correct a couple. This is what I said while reading it, but I didn't feel like there was actually his story when they stole the boat. I think the guy just got lazy, which is fine, but you know. Another criticism: the coordinates are for land. I mean, the river could work, but okay. So
As far as you know, maybe they faked the satellite images.
that's a good point.
What were you on Google Earth?
Yeah. I just skimmed it. It's all fake, anyways.
Can't trust that.
Yeah, it still says it's a globe. It doesn't show that it's flat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
never mind.
it's all
Never
a big
mind.
conspiracy.
Did you ever do Odyssey the Mind? Do you know what that is?
Was that like thing in elementary school where you could like it was like challenges?
Yeah, it was like a creative competition, basically.
Yeah, I never did it. I wasn't
Yeah.
smart enough, but I've heard of it.
So for
My friends would come back and be talking about it, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, is that where you guys were this last week?" I was eating lunch by myself.
That's so sad.
That's all right. I was dumb. I didn't know.
Yeah, well. So for every team, they had 2 challenges, and it was spontaneous and the long form. Long form always had a prompt. There were 5 problems, and you had to solve one. And they were always the most random things in the world. So, for example, I did one, and it was about metamorphoses. A character had to change 3 times and then back into its original. And so I didn't want to do this one, by the way, but this is just like an example. It was a caterpillar, and Gene Simmons as a genie changed him with wishes, and he got 4 wishes. So it's just really weird.
You got 4 wishes?
Come on, we just had to fit the script.
I mean, way to buck the 3 wishes. That's so boring.
I know. But and then at the end we sang obviously our own lyrics of Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music. So like
You should have picked a Kiss song. It was Gene Simmons, right?
I know. Trust me. I didn't have a lot of say in this one.
You write a story, or you had to actually.
You write a story, you write a script, and you perform it, and that gets judged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the year before, it had to deal with time travel. So I was Indiana Jones. One of my friends played a monkey, and then we got time traveled into the future. And so it's always just random. It's all weird. It's all crazy. And that's what this felt like to me. It felt like someone was just like off the cup, like trying to write an OM skip. Yeah. Yeah, I did that from like 2nd to 8th grade. So really random, really weird.
Wish I'd been invited.
Yeah, well, sorry. Next criticism. Did you ever watch the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny?
This is the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny. Yes.
Yeah. I'm putting that as a criticism because I enjoyed the song the first time, but I was always friends with the nerds, so they would walk around singing it. And 300 times later, it's not fun anymore. It's just kind of annoying.
They both got hit by a Care Bear stare.
Yep, that's it. So it reminded me of that a lot.
So Batman was injured and trying to get steady when Abraham Lincoln came back with a machete. I think that's what got me into rap. Like I first heard that as like a sheltered little white boy, and
bars. And another criticism, it really reinforces the whole celebrities are the Illuminati thing.
Well, only musicians.
Yeah.
And only those with, those are the underlings because I guess Nicki Minaj and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah.
No Ice themed.
Yeah. So
was Putin was in the Illuminati, or he was working with them?
Putin was like the shadow leader. He was, or not shadow leader, but he was the faux leader.
But he was all about fire.
Yeah.
And they were like, they helped, Snoop, who's in the Illuminati, helped Liam Neeson by giving him the sponge.
Snoop plays by his own rules. That's just a rule. Okay. Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. He's morally ambiguous. He'll help whoever suits his needs.
Yeah. So big question: why is it named National Treasure 3 and there isn't a Riley or Abigail?
That's what I was. Okay, they completely.
Yeah.
I mean, they bring in the star power. If you can get Liam Neeson, you got to go with Liam Neeson.
It almost feels like the first half is National Treasure and the second half is a Liam Neeson movie.
It sounds like the first half is National Treasure and the second half is like a fever dream.
That's probably it.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I got. That was the story for this week. National Treasure 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
For those of you still with us,
Yeah.
those who made it to the end,
Yeah.
I hope. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun reading it.
This is quite different. This is kind of a broad send up kind of deal.
Yeah.
So we've had I think one fairly serious one.
Yeah.
I think rectified anonymity. Was that fairly serious? You think that was a joke?
No, I think that one was serious.
That was
I think
serious?
that one. I think the person wants to do a Pokemon.
And I think Battle Royale was fairly. This was.
So I think we got a good mix of 3 fanfics so far. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to do something different.
Straight goofs.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you who are still listening, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Suck My Fanfic. YouTube, same place. SoundCloud, Fuck My Fanfic podcast. Oh, Suck My Fan. Whoa, Suck My Fanfic.
That's our explicit adult only.
I've been talking for like an hour and a half straight.
9-year-olds plus.
Yeah.
Fuck my fanfic.
We're on Tumblr. I don't post on there much, but whatever. And we are also on.
There's
Apple
no reason to go on
Podcasts.
Tumblr anymore.
Yeah, no.
There's no porn.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, no kid porn. So I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's Gardevoir porn. So.
Oh man, it's getting scrubbed by the mods. Not that I've been looking.
No, I haven't been looking.
Not that I've been.
Not in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, at least since this podcast began, I haven't looked.
Luckily, we can stand up and it not be awkward again, so that's nice.
I mean, I don't know. I've got a thing for Nick Cage.
I
love
love Nick Cage. I think he's a great actor. Anyone who says otherwise, I will fight you. Just like
I think he's a terrible actor, but that's why I like him.
He's so good. There are people who like legitimately think National Treasure is bad. And I even said to Ryan before we started, like, if you don't like National Treasure, I'm gonna fight you on the podcast. So there's no fighting. There's just love, just mutual admiration. For the story.
That's been going on so far. We need to find something divisive.
Yeah, we don't like. We'll figure it out.
That one likes and the other one hates. Yeah.
Next week. And we're also on Apple Podcasts, Suck My Fanfic Podcast.
That's exciting.
Yeah. The biggest issue at the moment is it looks like we're only going to get 2 podcasts on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts at a time. So if you want the full library, go to YouTube. We'll try to get that figured out, but it costs some money. And
it's the man trying to keep us down.
For the 10 listeners, you guys aren't worth it. I'm sorry.
They're trying to stifle this.
It's a big podcast. It's a big podcast move.
Big podcast.
Oh,
I hate it.
I hate big.
I really hate it. And we were leading the national discussion on fan fiction. We're now leading the global conversation.
We are in Russia now.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good night, evening, day when you listen to this. And
I hope you didn't listen to this in the morning. This is an interesting way to start your day.
It is. That's
actually probably a good way to start your day because everything's gonna make sense this day.
After this, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember that Thomas Jefferson invented mac and cheese.
That's great.